everybody. Welcome back to Chase and Tails podcast. I don't even know what episode number we're on.
31.
Brandon,
I
you know what
think.
episode?
I
31.
think.
We're on episode 31. And I do want to point out this is the most professional podcast on the internet.
100%.
We
So what we
keep it
got is
classy.
we got David Alexander coming on later on here shortly once New Zealand gets caught up to the Eastern Standard Time Zone here. Got some internet connection issues. You know, it seems to be a trend with our guests here lately. But he'll be on. What else we got going on in the world of hydroplane
Well,
racing
guys,
right now?
I was in Madison, Indiana last week, and I gotta say, that town walks around with. They have some of the best hydroplane fans in the world. I mean, it didn't matter what restaurant or bar I went to. Everyone I talked to, they knew racers. They didn't know me. They knew
They
Brandon.
didn't know Kyle Bipes either, right?
They didn't know Kyle Bipes. They knew Brandon. Some didn't even know the
Did you
current
introduce
driver.
yourself as the guy getting towed in?
But no, seriously. Everyone I talked to, they said the race is the biggest thing to happen to that town. They all love the race. A couple waiters and bartenders I talked to, they said they never even get to watch it because they're so slammed that weekend that they have to work all weekend. I went to 6 different restaurants and there was boat parts, boat wings, boat sponsons, boat cowlings hanging in the restaurants. There's a boat hanging in the restaurant. There's a 1 liter mod, which I believe is Stephen David's old 1 liter mod, hanging at the tap and right off the main street in downtown Madison. That town is so cool. I don't know. I love it. I mean, it's just cool to be able to go somewhere and have a conversation. It wasn't about the party. It wasn't about, them going to see their friends. It was people wanting to go to the race for the race. That's awesome.
Yeah, you
That
can't
is
say definitely can't say that about many towns. A lot of people are there for the race, and obviously Valleyfield's got a lot of diehard fans. But if you've ever been up there after the race, you wouldn't even know a race happens. Like
No.
certain places have memorabilia. Obviously, the GP444 used to live in the one bar before it burnt down, and you got the couple restaurants with paintings. But other than that, there's not too much, and that's our mecca of racing. But obviously, Madison, Indiana, with their heritage, where they're going on the 75th year this year, continuous. So that's pretty impressive.
Well, Madison is up on the uprise. I mean, Kyle Bipes is becoming he'll be the president of the Madison Regatta this year. And that guy's wearing his heart on his sleeve with this race. He's putting a lot of effort into it, and he wants it to be bigger and better this year, and then next year, and so on. I'm sure he's got an announcement coming up soon, something big for the race, not just the racing, but to add to the whole the regatta. So that's pretty exciting. And like you mentioned before, it's going to be the biggest race. I mean, you have unlimiteds, GPs, 350s, 2.5 stock skiffs. I mean, when's the last time you had all them at those classes at a together? I mean, that's
Yeah,
huge.
I would say at a race with 50,000 plus fans. I mean,
Last
that's
race,
incredible.
yeah, last race I remember having skiffs at where unlimiteds were was Norfolk, Virginia, and that's when Dave Villwalk was driving the Miss Budweiser. So that tells you how long it's been since we've had these classes run with on the same weekend at an event with unlimiteds. So it's pretty exciting. There's just if you ever have time to go to Madison, Indiana, just driving through, stop by, go to Main Street, go to the tap. There's a pizza place with some boat memorabilia in it, and just talk to the locals. I mean, they love. They're a little bummed about the whole stuff going on with the boats right now, but all in all, those guys love racing, and it was pretty cool to go down there on a not race weekend and get to talk to some people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think how about that H1 news coming out and Strong coming out and saying things, all that drama around
Oh,
H1 right now. I
guys,
mean, who would have
who
thought
has
you'd sell a boat and create this much drama?
whoa, who did we receive those screenshots? Anyone?
Uh,
I didn't get them.
I haven't got them yet.
Uh, we'll have
Misplaced
to
them.
we'll have to look later. But I mean, Dylan Runny might be buying an unlimited. I mean, there's a reason why owners are calling him about selling boats. So hey,
Right.
And then
But the
another
owners that own a boat should not be the ones calling these guys. Austin, Kyle, you guys can weigh in, jump in anytime. But I mean, you got Bardish out there by you guys that has what 4 or 5 really good ones. I mean, Bert just redid 2 of them. If he ain't gonna run them, he should be the one selling them. Put some boats that aren't active on the water, not ones that are active, just to different ownership.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Austin.
I'm always down for helping out the owners and the people that have supported the sport, but at some point it's got to be building the sport instead of helping the people get out of the sport. So no dogging on Wiggins or any other teams getting out selling their stuff, but can't dog on teams for also wanting to getting boats out of garages and back on the water finally.
Which I did hear
For sure.
Bardish is probably coming out this year, well, 2025. Which that would
That's
be
what I
pretty
was
cool.
about to ask. I wanted to know with both.
Yeah,
of
I've
the
heard that
redone
too.
boats or just one of them.
I'm not sure. I'm hopefully two, but I mean, like we have heard that how expensive it is to run it unlimited. So two is a pretty tall order for
Yeah.
one guy. So
Let's touch on that a little bit. I mean, those numbers Steve David posted, just kind of some insight into what it cost, obviously what a boat cost and for an unlimited. Is there any way they could restructure and start reducing costs? Because you got to compare that to other series. I mean, a dirt modified where you're going $50,000 a year, that car costs 60,000 to 100 probably. Maybe you're going through 2 of them a year, but your budget is not that much. Plus, you're getting money back. To run a NASCAR truck team used to be $1 million a year. Now I think it's up to 5 million, but they've run what 30 some races, not 4. So
Yeah.
how do they drop the cost down to ensure that they can get more people in and not just overprice the sport?
they got to start thinking outside of the garages. I mean, take it out of the owner's hands. They got to get a board in there that does not have a boat in their special interest to look out for. That it's got to start with propellers. Start with propellers. Go to a spec propeller. Go have a few different sizes that the teams can run. I mean, make those propellers thicker. Why? Because if you can only run them a certain amount of minutes, then if you make them thicker, they'll be able to last longer. And then eventually you start saving money. And then after that, maybe start thinking of different power plants. I mean, if these engines are really costing this much, there has to be something else out there. And I do not want to hear any unlimited people chime in and say there's not, because I will find an engine that works.
Probably a Honda K20.
Honda K20. I mean, there's another one. There's another one. I did hear Dan Canfouche might drive a 2.5 Honda this year. And also at one point might run a different ECM that will give the engine less power to try to test it to run as a 1.5 stock. So let's see what that happens.
Was that a little prelim post on Facebook the other day?
Possibly. Who's taller,
Yeah.
Eddie or Dan?
I think Eddie.
Eddie, I think.
You think Dan would, because he wears those big
Nike
Dad-
Air
Dad-
Maxes.
Dad 2000 thick sole.
Dad shoes. Yo, I was looking at them the other day. They do look comfy. I ain't gonna lie.
I had a pair before. They're not. I have Under Armour.
We should get everybody to show up a pair of those.
Yeah.
So, what else do we have on the little agenda here? Let's see. Well, let's just stick with the unlimited stuff. So, there's another rumor going around. Hold on, guys. Let me get my bow tie going.
Keep it professional now.
That possibly Madison might keep one boat. The current boat that Madison just ran will go to Apollo with Dave Villwalk driving. And then the old boat Madison keeps and Brandon Kennedy drives. I was told this yesterday. And Brandon did not tell me. And Brandon said he has not talked to anyone.
Yeah.
But this is what we hear. So who knows? I heard Andrew was going with the Madison team, but then I heard Villwalk is too, and Villwalk is to drive the boat. So I guess Villwalk's in the current running Madison boat, and if Madison doesn't keep a boat and Apollo gets both boats, Andrew will be in the both that he ran the first year and he did run it, right? Yeah, ran the first year
Yep.
with the Madison team.
Which it's probably still painted Goodman, right?
Oh yeah, it's
I
still
would think
paying
that
Goodman.
boat's pretty much ready to go. Yeah. I mean,
Goodman can sponsor both of them. They're both painted Goodman now.
right. Right. Maybe. I mean, that was kind of wild seeing his statement come out that like he didn't know anything going on and he wants to back the Miss Madison team. So obviously he
Wait,
likes
was
what
that
they
a
were doing.
statement? Did he do a statement like that?
Yeah, I think Goodman did it. And then H1 put it out basically saying like he didn't know anything about the sale, but he'd like stick with Madison racing and all this stuff. So
Oh
who knows
wow,
where it'll go from there.
that's awesome.
But I mean, even that, you go from
I was about
you
to
had
say,
the
yeah.
fastest boat. So if the Apollo boat goes with Dave Villwalk with the obviously faster of the two, the new one, then that kind of puts Andrew back in the not as competitive boat if he stays with Goodman. Or does Goodman then step up and just buy a boat and he buys Wiggins' outfit? I think there's a lot coming here in the next few months. It's silly season. Unbelievable.
This is awesome. I like it.
Shit
Where's my
happens
popcorn?
But yeah, I mean,
So,
one
you
thing
guys
I
think
will say
about,
about this whole situation, obviously with shocking the town of Madison with this stuff coming out about them selling, I think it's really cool how the mayor stepped in and like wants to get more involved in the regatta, in the boat racing side of it, the ownership side. Like he's stepping back in, like that it means that much to that town. It obviously was a good wake up call. Could obviously help them long term.
yeah, and also when I was, when this whole news thing dropped on Hydro News, a lot of people were slamming the reporter of Madison who writes for the paper, David Campbell. I talked to David Campbell when I was in Madison, and he flat out said, he's like, I'm not going to write or post anything that's a rumor. He's like, I want hard facts. He's like, I'm not here to start rumors, to keep rumors going. He's like, I want true facts to be able and put it in writing. Guy that him and a couple of his buddies, I had a few beers with them. Those guys are so knowledgeable about the history of unlimiteds, and they knew some about GPs too. It was pretty amazing to sit down and talk with them. It was pretty cool. But yeah, so hats off to him. He just doesn't want to keep rumors going. He wants facts before he writes it. So to all the people that are
how
out,
did you
out
and
there,
him get along?
bump your mic up, Kyle. We can barely hear you.
to all the people that were slamming him, give the guy a break. Once he posts something or writes something, then it's true. So, don't be mad at him because he didn't write a rumor. I mean, because at the time it was a rumor. As of right now, nothing's set in stone. The boat's not sold yet, as far as I know. So it's still a rumor. So cut the guy a break. If it's true and he knows it, then he writes it, then something happened. So that's all I got to say about that.
There goes Bob's rant.
No, that wasn't my rant. Don't worry. I got more.
Got more coming.
I got more.
This is warm up.
What do you guys
Did we lose Kyle on that one?
There he is.
You
He
froze
moved
up
on
on
now.
your thought.
you guys didn't hear the question?
No.
No,
No.
you froze up.
You didn't hear the question?
No.
No.
What do you think about HRL's little heat bracket?
I think it's a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
let me
They
go
asked
off
us
the
in the
heat.
marketing meeting like months ago to come up with heats. And I was kind of like, I proposed the ideal and I never came up with a heat. I done forgot all
Yeah, I was
about
talking-
it.
I was
My
talking to
bad.
Oops.
But yeah,
I
it's
do
going to
have
be cool.
insider information that I was 100% right. Tommy Shannon's in like 5 of them.
Nice. Yeah, I would bet. That dude was deck to deck almost every heat he ran.
Every single time I watched a 5-liter heat that he was in, it was a 5-lap duel.
Yep.
Hey,
Half of them
is
with
the
Paul
chat
Barber.
off on the live on?
Yeah.
No. There's some people that
No.
can comment, some people can't for some reason.
Huh.
Like when I bring it up, I don't have a live chat.
That's weird. Might be better that way.
I don't have one either.
I'll take a look into it.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
we need to
I
hear
think
Bob
this is going to
read
be
off
cool.
a
I don't know
paragraph.
I don't know how frequently they plan on putting them out. Obviously, I'm sure they're trying to make it to where it goes towards the gala. A lot of things they're working on right now is all towards the gala, making sure that's a perfect, goes without a hitch. But yeah, definitely neat. If you're watching this, go to Hydroplane Racing Links social media. Check out those 2 videos right now. It's Austin Matisse and was the other one in that heat.
Yep.
There's
The
the third one.
Billet.
Dominic. Yep. Versus
Dominic.
Eddie and Grant's Valleyfield final. So 2
No,
good
this
heats.
is-
Unfortunately,
You know what it shows?
it's pretty much over already.
Yeah. I mean, sorry,
It's like
Austin. I
72.
think
I just looked. It's 72
Yeah,
to 19.
I think I'm
You
definitely
know why?
getting kicked.
You know why
You
it's
you
over?
got put to the best heat of the year. Number 1.
That's because Scott Liddycoat, the Facebook, Instagram, social media prima donna, got on there and trying to get all of his followers on. I mean, a dude who has the algorithm on Facebook, Instagram, social media, and OnlyFans figured out, obviously all of his followers are going to like it. I mean, come on.
Oh, that's great. You ain't kidding
Yeah,
there.
you got the.
But I
shades
mean,
and
listen,
stuff.
listen, a 2-boat heat versus a 3-boat heat. 2 boats deck to deck, you see that every weekend. 3 boats deck to deck, come on. It's hands down no brainer. The 3-boat deck to deck, come on. What do you want? A 4-boat deck to deck to beat the 2? Jesus.
Yeah. I'm still
That's
going
awesome.
on about OnlyFans. I thought we was gonna be professional here. Oh.
Yeah, it ties
Yeah,
off, I
right.
think.
But you know what else? Those 2, they just boom put them out right before we have an IRC call that got postponed from tonight, so we could do our podcast. But just shows the competition level between a Honda and a Ford. 2 different race courses, 2 different classes of boats. And
2 different winners.
Yep, 2 different winners. Ford won one, Honda won the other.
I'm going to have to take Xanax for that
Eddie
IRC card.
Eddie just messaged me. He said they're going to be releasing those like every couple days.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you Bobby. I think after we talked to Brian the other day, that you lit a fire under him because he started posting a lot of content. He's like, man, I got it.
Yeah,
I
he
just
did.
had to get started.
He's like as soon as I said, he's like, thanks, Bobby. I'm like,
Yeah. You're like,
You
oh,
know.
I didn't know you ran that.
I mean, I knew he was, I knew he posted, but I don't know. Oh, it's someone up in
You
nature.
didn't
Oh,
know that he ran Mont work?
I knew he ran Mott work. I didn't know
He was
supposed to
talking
break RL.
Oh,
HRL.
gotcha.
Now APBA needs to hire him hire you and him because holy crap! I mean, APBA ever put out anything?
Not often. They only
Never
reshare.
seen anything.
They only put out a propeller,
Yeah.
a propeller magazine. They don't even put out a rule book anymore.
Speaking of that, I don't know if y'all seen the most recent Propeller magazine, but in a little article it says something about Region 6. If you don't race here, then you've never raced. I got a chuckle out of that one.
Region 6.
I mean, I know it's y'all's region, but I don't know. That's a broad,
Yeah,
bold
How many
statement
races have
there.
been here?
Look, I like Region 6, but take me to Ken Island any day.
Right.
Really think there's any bad places to race, if we're being honest.
No, there's no bad place to race.
No, I think they meant like about the speed of the boats compared to other areas in the country. That's how I took it. Maybe I was offended by it.
Well, I know Waterford had a lot of records there,
Yep.
but I know places like Chelan and Yelm or whatever out west.
Yeah, you can't get no better than that for record setting.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I've never been out there, but just seeing pictures, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yelm was unreal. Like just super smooth.
If you
Too
want to set a
smooth.
record, hands down, Region 10 is the place to do it. But their courses are so freaking boring out there. They're big, wide. It's like, come on. No, you watch the racing out there. There's hardly any deck to deck racing because they're all wide courses. Inside, always the advantage. I mean,
Yep.
boat racing needs to get away from perfect record courses. It does nothing for the sport. It does nothing for spectators. Oh, so what?
Yeah.
You've seen a boat go set a record that was 30 seconds ahead of every other boat. It does.
And you
it
don't
does
find
n-
out the
it-
record
it-
was set for
yeah.
a day and a
Yeah.
half.
What
It
about
does
this
nothing
idea?
for the sport.
I say we have a Joker lap. Like you have to go a long course for one.
I'm
like
so
one lap.
down. Do it like
How-
rally racing.
How wild would that
Oh
shit
my
be?
god. Yes.
I mean, I would be good with it because I went to the unlimited course a couple times.
You can have it like you do like a normal track, and then the Joker lap turns into like one of the triangle tracks.
Yeah.
Where you just gotta send it real long, and then
Yeah, and
you're
if
good.
you're the guy on the outside, you gotta be like, oh, is he gonna take the Joker lap now? I should dive inside. Oh, it'd
Hope you
be
pick right.
epic. Yeah, I mean, we all have mandatory radios now. It'd be pretty easy.
Yeah. No, but I think bringing stuff in, like maybe if we don't go that extreme, but bring back the shootouts like we've talked about, getting the 2.5s and the 5 liters racing each other, just something to spice it up a little bit, get fans a little bit more interested.
Yeah, 100%. Got to do something like that. Yeah, I was actually just watching a little clip from a guy that's putting on the Gateway Dirt Nationals, and they do that in the dome, so it's a real tight dirt modified track. And he said everyone's always asking, like, why don't we make it wider? Why don't we take the berm all the way to like the bleachers because they're inside a stadium? And he like went through and explained like why with the turns being wider, straightaway shorter, like it just became a train. So it's like, oh wow, it's not just our sport worried about like kind of track layout for competition.
Yeah. I mean, even in, I mean, I feel like in car racing, well, definitely in car racing. I mean, I get to use slipstreams or whatever, drafting, and it helps keep them together. And the ones that it works.
Y'all blocked this, so I can't comment, or I can't.
Is that what we did?
You had to.
No, it's working for some people. I know I saw Mom and Debbie Welty commented, but I looked. It's not blocked.
So it's getting that. It's already that time of year. No boat racing is going on in North America. Hydro Sim season is ready to go. I mean, I don't know.
Is there any arguing this time?
Y'all just got to follow the rules.
Yeah, we'll do the Chasing Tails League on Twitch. We'll keep it on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll do a Chasing Tails League.
Yeah.
But if any of our followers or listeners don't know what Hydro Sim is, there's a guy who developed a software on the computer, and you download this game on your computer. You get a steering wheel. You can use a remote. I mean, a remote control, but generally most people use steering wheel and pedals, and it is a very realistic game. You have flat bottoms, the GPs, vintage, unlimiteds, and they're trying to develop 2.5 stock and hopefully soon skiffs, because that'd be even sweet. Brandon's eliminated from skiffs. He can't.
Yeah, maybe I could figure out how to drive one if I use the game.
There we go. But go give it go. If you want to get involved in the Hydro Sim community.
Yeah, I just dropped the link in the comments so you guys can go and post that. Since Bobby's not allowed to comment.
Yeah, it is awesome. I mean, you can get someone to make your own paint scheme, or you can use a current paint scheme from current unlimiteds, GPs, all that. And then they also, I had a brain fart.
Happens often. Must be thinking of triangles.
Yeah, triangles.
No, I think Austin last week on the podcast showed a little bit of the Hydro Sim, some videos from it. So if you guys want to go back and look at that episode, see some of the Hydro Sim action, obviously just drop the link in the bio. My kid's been playing it lately. He crashes a lot, so I'm a little concerned for J-Stock days, but other than that, it's definitely fun. And I guess, Bobby, you hosted we called it the HRL Hydro Sim. We want to start up a Chasing Tails league.
Yeah, we can do a Chasing Tails league, that's for sure. That would be pretty cool.
So if you want to be in that, would it be Grand Prix or Unlimited?
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix. All right. So if you want to be a part of that Chasing Tails Hydro Sim League, we'll put together a little schedule, but drop a comment saying that you want to be in. Yes, I'm in for the Hydro Sim League. Obviously, Kyle Bipes will be in if you ever send him that wheel. You should have brought it with him.
I saw that. I should have grabbed it the other day at your house.
No,
I saw it in the garage.
I have to send him a piece of flooring for his bathroom, and when I get that,
So that's
I'm
never gonna
going
get there,
to.
too?
I'm going.
Did you put a
I'm
hole in
gonna-
that too?
I'm gonna wrap it all together. Send the steering wheel, the pedals, and his piece of flooring down to him, and then he can jump on and join. And Hydro Sim will
We're probably
never
gonna
be the
have to make
same.
him mute himself if he joins this league.
Dude, I don't know if
Probably
I
have
can
to
race with
mute
Kyle
both
Bikes
of you.
on there.
It's gonna be a problem.
Oh, that'll be great.
Have we
So we
heard
do have
any-
some negative news. I just got word from David Alexander. He's having issues with his phone and iPad updating. We got to have an app for Riverside to work. So he's having issues with that. So we'll try to get him on at some other point, but tonight's not going to work. So if you're tuning in to listen to David talk and try to understand him, unfortunately, he won't be on. If anybody else from New Zealand is watching and want to hop in, I'm going to drop the link to our podcast right here in the chat. Go ahead, download the Riverside app and pop in here. We'd love to talk about the weekend, but from what I saw, it was great competition, except for some guys trying to learn how to hit a start with time starts, but David
was
being
funny.
one of them.
It was.
funny.
I was the first heat I watched. Ken Lupton was on the outside, and I was looking, and I'm like, these guys are getting up a little early. I'm like, Ken's going to nail this. I'm like, this dude's been running clock starts for 3 years now. I'm like, he's got this, and I'm like, come on, Ken, come
He
on.
never went.
Come on.
I was thinking the
No.
same thing. He just never went, man.
He's like, I
was
knew
come
they
on, Ken.
jumped.
I was like, man, I was like, all right, maybe he's not going to nail it, but yeah, it's all right. First race. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's our season. First race, you get the start jitters a little bit where you mess up your start. But
I'm not hating. I'll do it again.
Yeah. I like
I'll
Jack's.
plead the fifth on this one.
I like Jack's comment. He's like, I don't know why everybody's following me. I'm not good at it. But yeah, man, I think the competition was probably the best it's been down there. Obviously David won the first round here. So we are going to talk to him, but Scotty Coker seemed like he had that boat running good. That's old GP12 of Eric Langevin. And I mean, that boat has a ton of history dating back to Tommy Snyder and Bergeron way back in the day. So still cool to see that older boat up there. And I mean, being competitive, just got to get these things around a turn. I think they got to come to H-Tool Machine for some hardware or something. We'll ship it down under.
all right, and then
I will say it looked better. It looked better than last year. Like in terms of,
for sure.
Yeah.
But that course looked rough too.
Yeah,
compared to their normals.
They had a lot that their corners were sharper than normal, so that was different. I don't know if it's that race, if it's generally like that, or they tried to make their turns more square at this race, but I could tell it was a challenging course. But you guys are right. The competition there, I would put the New Zealand boats in a heat with our boats, and I don't think you'd be able to pick a winner because their competition, they have stepped it up a lot, and it's pretty impressive. I mean, I don't think you can say that North America has the most dominant GPs now, because I mean, I know I'm going off one weekend. I know that's a far stretch because it's one weekend, but those guys are running, and we know how fast Luptons are, and there was boats running same speed, if not faster than them. I mean, look at time trials. Pointing that out, they did the time trials and clock starts. Hopefully this is a new thing for them, because, I think time trials add a huge wow factor to the whole weekend. It gets the blood flowing first thing in the morning on Saturday, and it just sets the tone for the weekend.
Yeah,
they
I
actually
agree.
had some people go wide on the time trials to get that run.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't think anybody else did that.
The
in HRL
secret's
this year.
out.
Well, it's kind of like we said all year with that GP challenge and then rolling in the Valley Field for us, like that. You got to set the tone in the time trials. Yeah, it doesn't always mean you're going to be the fastest race boat, but you're putting out a little like come catch me type of thing. And that's what David did. I think he had over second possibly. He had a
second and a half or so.
Yeah, second and a half. So I mean, he basically put that target on his back right away and said, "Come catch me," and that's what they had to do.
Yeah. Haggerty was fast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
He was
real
running
quick.
good.
So, but yeah, so I mean, you have what 5, 6 fast GPs up there, if not more. I mean, or down there. I'm sorry, it's down there, not up there, but
Down there, over there, somewhere.
over there somewhere. Where,
Yeah. If you're wondering what we're talking about, just dropped in the comments again the Hydro Thunder Facebook page. They did a phenomenal job all weekend with the live streams of every heat. Denise Preece does an amazing job with their coverage and just keeping everyone informed. And that's kind of what we're working on as Grand Prix class. That's why we created gphydroplanes.com. Kind of working to be in unison, even all the way down in New Zealand up to Canada, just all one, because the GP class is on such a growth. I mean, like you said, there's so many boats down there in New Zealand. There's new ones potentially coming out. Over in Australia, you got some fast ones. I mean, it's pretty worldwide, and that's really cool.
oh, did you what do you think Jack Lupton's news is?
Maybe
He's
he got having another kid. I don't know. I do know, but I can't say. He'll be out. I just know that.
He'll be
With
out.
something different. I don't know if they're working on the lobster or what they're doing, but something different.
Is it limited? Because I did hear rumors that Bucket List Racing wants a Lupton in one of their boats.
No, might be that.
Well, in their U40. So
Jack
could be
fit
that.
the same. Seats fit for Jack.
Jesus Christ.
Whatever he's working on, it says it takes longer than milking cows. That's all I know.
Fair enough.
He's got to be having another baby.
I don't know. We're going to find out. Hey, Jack, you want to drop it in the comments? I'm sure you're watching.
Because you know he's not working. He should be working right now. He's not working.
When's their next race?
They're spread out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think it's in January.
In between.
Round 2. Where'd it go? Got the schedule here somewhere.
The rest of them too are just like scenic backgrounds. This is like the only one that's not. Looks like it's in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah, for sure.
The one there, I think it's the last one they run of the year. That water is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, the one they come down in the valley.
Yeah.
You know, social media is doing well that they post so much when I can't find the second round because I had to scroll through way too many posts. January 18th and 19th. So they got a long break, kind of break everything in, and so maybe new stuff will come out for there. But yeah, and then Jack being back in his old boat, GP57, something he was familiar with. Seemed like he did good in that.
Yeah. They were having some trouble. What were the issues they had early on?
Ignition issues. They were fighting. Dude, he said they run a different ignition system than what they're used to, so a little bit of tuning on it, but it seemed like they got it going.
Which boat is that? The Gulf Oil one or whatever it is?
Yeah.
What's cool?
Whatever happened in the Tiger boat?
That thing got messed up.
Tiger boat? I think it went to Australia, and I think it's the GP24 now.
Man, they should have kept to the Tiger boat. That thing was awesome.
Yeah. If our chat's working, maybe our people can hop on and tell us where it went, because I'm sure TJ knows. He follows that a lot.
The YouTube chat is working.
So Denise said there's going to be 4 more GPs at the next round of Hydro Thunder at Manjakino and January 18th and 19th. That's pretty cool, man.
Nice.
It's awesome. But again, back to the people see the proof in the pudding, right? With what HRL did with their rule set, and New Zealand adopted that. So now you have to run basically spec head just like we do. I mean, these HRL motors are not cheap, but they're as cheap as you can get to build a Grand Prix engine. Then obviously, we talk about the GPA side of it. The rules are a little bit more open. You can kind of go way different directions. Cost goes up. So, I mean, it's really cool that the package that HRL created to bring back Grand Prix here in the U.S. or Canada and U.S., then it works down there too.
You know, speaking of price and spec engines and all that, they got
Hold
to
on.
get.
They answered in the chat that the Tiger is still in New Zealand and runs as a GN Grand National.
That's my favorite Grand National. Then, long live the Tiger boat.
Long live it.
I think it's cool. Not as cool as the lobster boat though. That's probably one of my top 3 favorite boats. The thing is so freaking badass. Um, what was I about to say? Oh, speaking of prices of engines, I mean, you know, it's bad when a 350 engines are starting to be sold at almost the same price as the GP engine. It's time that they get they reel in the reins on these 350 engines, 2.5 stock engines, Ford engines, not the Honda. Maybe the Honda. Never mind, I won't go there. But but I mean, if you're paying $45,000 for a 350 engine, this is freaking insane. Someone's they got to lay down the law here. They got to do something. They need 350 to go to a spec sealed engine. Hands down. Keep the owner's hands out of it. Keep these engine builders' hands out of it who are running up these prices. Go to a spec sealed engine and not $45,000. That is freaking ridiculous. It is going to put teams on the beach who cannot compete because you have guys who are finding this horsepower and upping these prices, and only a couple teams are going to be able to afford these engines. And I'm sure this guy who's building these engines for $45,000 will not just build them for anyone. So that means even if you do have $45,000, it doesn't mean you're going to get one. HRL, APBA, they need to go to with these stock classes, 1 liter stock, 2.5 stock, 350 sealed and spec engines, and bring the price down so people can afford it. Everyone's wondering why, like an APBA, why don't we have boat count? Why don't we have boat count? Well, first off, you have a 2.5 stock Ford engine that's going for $15,000 in a boat that's probably $45,000. So that you're up to $60,000 already for 2.5 stock. I mean,
Right.
if you want to start bringing costs down, you got to start with the engine, and then start working the little nooks and crannies out from there to bring more costs down, like spec props. Like you have to run this prop or this prop. I mean, you got to figure it out. I mean, that's why boat count's down, because the price is getting out of hand. And I don't care if you're on the IRC or the board at HRL. If you're just sitting around expecting just to look at rule proposals and then pass it, or do a little more, do some research, try to figure out how to make this sport better and bring price down, because that's the only way we're going to get more boats on the water. There's my rant for the night. Thank you.
I love how he starts so calm and just builds himself
Just
up.
builds. I mean, you're not wrong. The 350 class, when that motor came in, it was like a $10,000 motor, about $12,000. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I'm pretty sure that's what the ideal was.
Yeah.
It shouldn't cost that much to build a 350.
Yeah.
It's the ideal of it. I mean, they even tried when they first brought it in, just doing a crate engine. You buy straight from GM, straight from Jigs. That didn't work. But I mean, if it did, that would eliminate cost. Everybody have the same thing. And a lot of these dirt tracks have done that with their crate stock classes. I mean, a lot of these classes are getting too close to modified versus stock. So things need to change, obviously.
All
but
of them are
it's
modified.
hard. I was told today that it would be hard to sway the masses of the IRC to get behind a spec package. And I don't see it when you got so much writing on the paper, on the wall of like how it could work, how it's series. I mean, we have SCCA that Spec Miata and Spec Racer Ford. One Spec Miata said, hey, we don't want a spec engine. It'll cost too much. Spec Racer Ford is like, nope, it's a sealed engine. You buy it from SCCA Enterprises. You put it in, you race. Spec Miatas now cost 18 to 20,000 for an engine. Spec Racer Ford, where you got to buy a dyno sealed, is 6,500, and everybody's got the same stuff.
I mean,
people will find a way to play.
The IRC, well, some IRC members say they don't want the added cost to ship it and get it dynoed and sealed. So when you're talking about, what is it, $4 to $5 grand for your second engine after the initial startup?
Yeah, right around 4.
So you're talking about a little extra cost, say $1,000, to send it out, to ship it, get it dynoed, sealed, bring it back. So you're talking $1,000 on top of $5,000-6,000. If you go unsealed, 5-10 years from now, that engine's going to cost anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. And then I want to hear the IRC crying, well, why is this so expensive now? Which they won't be crying because they don't have any skin in the game, because most of them don't even have a 2.5 stock. I know Jeff Bernard does.
Right.
But
all it does is it also just opens up, well, not opens up, extends the playing field. Like now, the guy that can afford that and can go and get every ounce out of the dyno, even though it's a sealed ECU, that still doesn't mean you probably can't play in these things somehow to get an advantage. I mean, nobody's tried, right? Nobody's really got their hands in it and got dirty.
yeah,
So it just takes it away, because that guy that can't really afford the dyno right now obviously ain't going to be able to afford an expensive motor when someone finds 5 horsepower. So
No.
it just makes them further apart.
yeah.
But
And granted, if you don't want to ship an engine out to get sealed, you still get to run the Ford. And if you can't afford the Ford because it's getting so high, you can still run the 2000. I mean,
right.
and
we never let go of things in this sport, do we?
no, it's getting out of hand. I mean, we're not eliminating an engine. We're trying to bring an engine in and make racing close to as stock as possible. I mean, because because right now Fords are modified. Fords are 100% modified. Yeah, I understand that you can get cams now. Well, congratulations, people who want to run Fords can get cams. Go get a Esslinger head.
Yep. The day that like I said many times, the day that they started to propose the Esslinger head should have been the day that they started working on a new motor.
Yes,
because I just put a $3,000 piece on top of a old motor that used to cost $500.
And then I hear some IRC members are concerned about this engine is not in current production. Well, you're welcome, because if we picked an engine that was in current production, you would be spending a lot more for an engine, and it would not be feasible. You would be right back up to where how much the Ford is, and then there we go again. Why don't we have boats on the water? Because cost is so high. The Honda, after your initial cost, your engine prices are low. I mean, I hear Monkey just went out and bought a $9,000 Ford engine. Well, congratulations. You just spent more money, just as much money as you would as an initial cost on the Honda, and then your next engine would be way cheaper than that. I mean, I guess some people can't.
They just want that
simple math. I don't know, but I do know that if the Honda doesn't get passed, it's going to hurt the East Coast. You have boats that are already going to the Honda. They'll just choose to run 2.5 mod until it passes, and then you're going to hurt the 2.5 stock class.
And primary thing is we have a couple of new people with new boats that don't have a Ford right now, or they might have a Ford, but it has the old iron head. So why, instead of them reinvesting into the Ford that eventually is going to get phased out anyway, whether it's the Honda or something else down the road, just let's move to the Honda. And if you don't want to move to it, don't move to it. But anyway, Denise Preece is going to save the New Zealand side of the show. She's in the lobby. We're going to bring her in and hear more about the first round of the Hydro Thunder. Hopefully she's got her tie on. Hey, Denise, how are you?
Hi, good. Thank you, Brandon.
Excited to have you on. Oh, you're good. Excited to have you on. Obviously saving the day for David there. Must be like his start a little off.
Well, the farmers remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, when he told me it would take an hour to update his phone, I'm like, ooh, where you at? Out in the field, huh?
It's taken him 2 hours, he told me. I was messaging him before. Yeah.
Oh, my. So how'd the first round go? Obviously, you're the event coordinator for the Hydro Thunder. How do you feel it went?
Lucky me. Yeah, no, actually, it went off really well. I thought that there was really good racing. Obviously, a few teething problems. Poor old Raymond had some issues. And then our boat, Steve, we didn't make it. But yeah, as far as the racing goes, I thought the racing was pretty cool. Everyone was quite happy, you know, doing the clock starts. They're all excited about doing that. And I heard one of you say before that they should have hung with Ken in that first race when David jumped, you know. But hey, it was the first time up, so they'll get it right.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
didn't a couple of years ago you guys tried the clock starts before and got away from it, or no?
So what we do is we tried them at Mangakino where we were this weekend, and not every venue suits the clock starts. Like Rotorua, when you talked about that, that's the venue with that's the nice big hills all around it. That's a triangle course, and it's not ideal and to do that. But we've decided to do the clock starts at both Mangakino events. When we go to Lake Karapiro, that will be a pole boat start. And then when we go to Twizel, which is our final round, we're going to go back. We're going to try it. The clock starts there as well.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yes.
It'll be fun to see it go back and forth.
Sorry?
I said it would be fun to see it go back and forth first season between
Yeah.
clock start and flag start.
I think the guys are starting to enjoy it. So I would think maybe going forward they might just go clock starts. It's a
Okay.
lot
Yeah.
easier. It's a lot
Oh,
easier
yeah.
for us.
Yeah, the
For
driver's got to
sure.
sort it out, not the flag boat and everything else.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, going forward. I know the teams are enjoying it, especially Jason Haggerty. He was onto it. He had a big watch on his arm. He was right into it, you know, and
Yeah.
he drove really well. He had that little whoopsie in that turn, but pretty much, you know, he's going quick, so he was good.
Yeah.
Nice. Now we talked about that course seeming to be a little rougher than the other ones we've seen on the live stream over the years. Is that typical, or did you guys have some weather in that weekend?
It's typical for that venue.
Okay.
It really roughs up. Yeah, that venue does. And yet the water was like glass before they started. I think the only thing I like going forward with the clock starts versus the flagpole start is that you know how you circulate for your 5 minute. Like it really roughs the course up, and it seems to
Oh,
really
yeah.
affect that course big time.
Okay.
And so that's what we noticed. And I think in Scott Coker in his first race had a bit of an issue in the first turn. And he said there was a lane there for him, but he just got a wave and a wash off somebody, and he sort of got lost in that turn. So yeah, like I said, that lake is rough. It roughs up bad, but
Yeah. That's a good point
mm,
about the 5 minute period making things rougher. I
yeah,
know one year we ran 7 Grand Prix in the final at Valleyfield, and we hit the start and it was like an ocean. Like it's just rough all over
yeah.
this course.
Well, especially at Valleyfield.
Yeah. I'm like
Yeah.
we could do a 1 minute warm up. That's good there.
So when we run the 100th Massport Cup, which is at Lake Karapiro in February, we have the rules say we can start 10 boats because 10 are allowed to start on that lake, which is a lot of GP boats.
Yeah.
And the
That's a
last time we
lot.
ran the Massport there, we had 9, and oh my gosh, it was
My
it was a sea.
wow.
So
That was awesome.
that could be interesting.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely been watching.
So can you
Mm.
fill us? So can you what's Jack's news coming out? Can you
Whoa,
give us a hint?
he's got 2 lots. One of
Oh,
you hinted on one before, but I can't say it's not my place. But
Okay.
mhm.
Huh.
Bob had to
But
try.
I
you know our
tried.
baby Jack.
yeah.
So today on Hydro Thunder there will be an announcement. Jeremy will put that up a little bit later, not too much later for you guys. So
Come
hopefully not
on,
before you
Jeremy.
get
Get it
there.
out right now while we're on
Yeah,
chasing tails.
yeah. But we will have more boats at the next round. So Kevin Island is going to be back with his boat,
Great.
which was GP21, I think, if I'm right. Steve, definitely with our boat, will be back. Warwick will be there with the lobster boat. Um, and hopefully the tiger boat, he's working on that, and there could be one other which I can't tell you about that yet either. So
Nice.
there's some history coming back into the sport here, and and thanks to the Luptons going and competing with you guys over there, it's definitely, and us adopting the HRL, the engine rules and everything here has definitely grown our sport. So I mean, we're looking at probably 11, at least 11 GPs, which is pretty good for the size of our little country compared to
Yeah,
yours.
That's
that's
awesome.
awesome.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's you couldn't ask for anything more than that. That is really cool.
yeah, I think so. And and it's thanks to the Luptons for what they've done going backwards and forwards and racing with you guys, and yeah, and it's definitely helped here, and adopting that full 68 rule, definitely. It's made it more affordable. The likes of Peter Dudson, for instance, he's got into it, and even my Steve, he's got into it too, because he was running a tunnel before, and this is a cheaper way to do it. It's
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, that's what we were kind of just discussing before you came on. The cost of other classes over here getting expensive, and honestly, it's more expensive to be competitive and fast and have a good engine in H350 than it is Grand Prix nowadays. Obviously, the
Yeah,
boat's a little bit more expensive, but they're available out there, and you can go out there and
yeah,
have a good ride.
yeah, absolutely. I heard you say that. Yeah, so I'm hoping that we're in for a good season. We kicked off a good start, even though we only ended up with five finishing. We five started, and pretty much, except Jack broke down in one of the heats, but I think they still put on a pretty good show. It was good
Absolutely.
racing, and like I heard one of you say earlier before, they've definitely lifted their game here. It won't be all Ken and Jack's way. Ken won for a few years when it first started. We first started the Hydro Thunder series under the new rules and the new format. And then quickly David's on his heels, and David did extremely well. And David's real fast. He is fast.
Yeah.
He made a mistake and jumped the start, and that's put him back in points. But I don't. I couldn't tell you who's going to win the final of it, because seriously, I think they're all pretty close.
Yeah,
Could
Yeah.
be some very interesting racing.
Yeah. The Luptons, especially Ken, he seemed to just have it down on every aspect between the boat, the engine, his starts. Even though it wasn't a clock start, but starts from full start, he knew when to go. He was on top of it, and then it seems that guys are starting to catch up in speed and having boats set up and everything put together as a package. And it's going to be really interesting to how it unfolds throughout the season.
Oh, definitely will be. Ken did say that he was, because that engine he ran on the Sunday was one he brought back from Canada,
Mhm.
Okay.
and it was down. He said it was down on power, but then we all say that, don't we?
Yeah, every time. Bobby was screaming
Yeah,
that after I won all them heats, and
yeah.
he drove the
But
boat once, told me it's down on power.
mm, mm. But that's what he was having issues with it. So um, yeah, I just do think I will. To be honest with you, I don't know how it will end up. I think David has been pretty competitive, and he's pretty quick, and he's a good driver, and he's doing really well. So, and
That's
then you've
good.
got Jason Haggerty. Now look at him in the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, he had a
Yeah.
spin in that turn, but he is aggressive, and Scott Coker, like, he's brilliant too. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It could be, yeah, it's going to be interesting watching.
It's definitely looks like it's shaping up to be a really good season to watch. I'm excited to watch it over here. It's
Yeah,
just so is it going to be all season where you guys just post videos, or are you guys going to do a live at some events, or
we
how's
are
that
going
going
to
to
do
go?
some live at some
Okay.
events, definitely at the Carapiro event.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so we will obviously notify you when we're on our Hydro Thunder page, with the updates on that, and hopefully the Rotowedi event in the South Island is really bad coverage there because of the hills. So we possibly will have to try and do it ourselves with our Starlink, because it's really hard with the hills and that stuff. It stops the coverage. You know, we're getting the link out. We're a bit slow back here, you know. We're trying.
Hey,
Well, as long as the Luptons just keep bringing like high speed internet stuff home with them, the whole country will be taken care of.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is it
Well,
better to travel to that race than it is all the way over here for you?
yeah. Well, it wasn't as far, obviously. I think it took me like 6 hours, but to be honest, you know, we love coming over there, and you know, we've made some really cool friends and um, relationships with people over there, and we enjoy it, and we'll be back next year. Like Steve loves it, I love it. It's just great, and it's so cool
Nice.
because we just follow the sun and stay away from the winter here. Not that
Yeah,
our
It's
winter's as
beautiful.
bad as yours.
yeah,
Yeah,
can't complain there. That's for sure.
yeah.
So
It's,
yeah, that's definitely exciting. Wish you guys didn't have so far in between races here. We get us all excited, and then we got to wait and go through Christmas and all that stuff.
I know, yeah. So a month, and then I think it's 2 weeks, and then another month,
oh,
and then another couple of weeks. Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that. It's sort of
Ah,
a little bit
it's
a
all
little
right.
bit dragged out. But anyway, good for you to be able to get up in the middle of the night. Hopefully not too late to watch
Yep,
it.
exactly.
oh,
Well,
I'll stay up and
anytime
watch it.
GP. Yep, anytime
Definitely.
GP's racing's on, I'm watching.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool what you're doing. You know, trying to include the Hydro Thunder and your GP America website thing and stuff too. So I think I messaged you, and Jeremy's going to send through photos, and we'll. I think it's great. It's great for the sport. It's great for everybody over there, as over your side of the world as well as ours, because we've got a heap of followers, and so have you guys. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Try
exactly.
to bring them all together, and it just benefits everyone. You know, put everyone in the
Yeah,
spotlight.
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. No,
it's been
it's real
cool
good.
seeing the interactions like on Facebook and stuff between people from opposite sides of the world
Yeah,
talking
I
about
think so too.
racing.
It's great. It's real good. And once again, that comes down to, you know, like it does come down to the Luptons going over there and competing, and everyone's following it from this side of the world and your side of the world when we're back home here racing. So it's cool.
Yeah.
It's good for the sport. It's really good.
Oh yeah, 100%. They definitely, the Luptons are really good. I mean, not just racing, but they bring a level of competitiveness and also awareness. Because I didn't really watch anything from New Zealand until the Lupton started coming over, and I started following you guys and watching, and then I'm a fan. I'm a fan watching you guys. I love watching it. You guys do things a little different over there from time to time, and it's pretty cool to see because I mean, it's racing. It's just little different tweaks of racing. Like you do this different or that different, and it's pretty cool to watch. So the Lupton's definitely, you know, racing there than racing here. They step that up, and then they bring back the engine package to New Zealand, and then making. I I would say if you guys put 11 boats on the water the next race, that's better than what we have going on over here most of the time.
Yeah.
So that's really impressive. That's awesome.
I guess that's the bonus of us being a smaller country, whereas you've got, you know, Canada and America, and you're spread so far.
Yeah.
You know, like for us, we're at the top of the North Island, so we've pretty much to go to, it's a 6 hour drive for us to Karapiro, a couple of hours less, but then to go to the South Island, it's like for us to go all the way down there is, if we're going to do, I don't know. And the same with Haggerty's, they were at the bottom of the South Island, we were at the top of the North Island.
Oh wow.
And then we got a ditch in the middle. And then we got to get on a ferry.
Oh my.
Now between the
Mhm.
north, so where you guys are at north of the North Island and they're at the south of the South Island, how far is that between hour wise if you're driving?
It would be like 15 hours probably,
Oh
which
wow.
is which is nothing compared to what's you guys travel.
Yeah. So
You
I
know,
mean,
like I said, we're only a
I don't
country of
know. That's
5
pretty
million
long.
people.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
so
wow.
it's not massive for us, but it
Yeah.
seems like it a long way. You know, everybody else, like on Sunday, you know, we packed up and everything, and everybody goes home, and like we're still traveling home on Monday. because just everyone's home a day before we get home. But that's all right. It's just what it is.
That's good
You know, especially when
advertising.
you're the organizer and you've got to clean up.
That's good advertising through the whole country, because if you guys travel, that means most of the country is seeing a boat go somewhere, and then they're probably wondering where that boat's going. And then if they want, they can jump on
Absolutely.
the internet
Yeah.
and Google it and try to find out.
That's right. And I think that's what's helped, you know, it's growing our sport here in New Zealand with the followers that we have and the people that come to our events is, you know, they see these travelling billboards on the road and I'm thinking, what are they and where do I find those? And Google them or whatever and, you know, find it. So we've found that by going down to the South Island, that our people following Hydro Thunder, and even in New Zealand, has increased hugely. We've got a lot of followers, which is pretty cool, as well as obviously everybody over there following us too now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
incredible. And that's definitely got to tip our hats to what you guys are doing on social media and everything you do to promote. Like I said earlier, I was trying to scroll down and find out where the second race was going to be at. And it was a long way down because you guys post a lot. And that's, I mean, we preach it
Yeah.
here that that's what you got to do. And obviously, that's why you have the follower account you have on
Mm.
Hydro Thunder.
Yeah, well, Jeremy's obviously he does all those reels and stuff, which he started doing now, and he does a lot of our social media. I do a bit of it, but I'm not as clever as he is, and you know, he does a great job, and it definitely helps grow the numbers and grow the following, which is great for all of us.
Definitely. So I think
Mm.
that about wraps it up. We'll let you go.
Sure.
But do you have any closing thoughts? Looking forward to the next event. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking. I am looking forward to the next event. I'm hopeless when Steve races. I have to do all the timing and stuff like that, and I get a little bit nervous watching him race. But I'm sure your wives do the same thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so but it'll be cool for to see the new boats out on the water. Well, our boat, the Lobster. Kevin's back. He hasn't been racing for a couple of years, so it'll be cool to have him back. And then Jack's news when you hear his news.
Man,
And
I thought you were
yeah.
going to slip up and say it.
She's not you, Bob.
Because Jack could be watching and then I'll be in deep trouble.
Yeah.
And then it'll be good to see Warwick back on the water as well, you know, like he tells everybody, you know, this is how you're supposed to do it. You're not doing it right. And he goes mad when the boys don't do it right. So anyway, we're about to see him back. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so thank you very much. So it was cool. And I'm sorry
right.
David couldn't make it, but I'm sure you'll get him next time.
Yeah, we'll pop on. We'll try to get him on another week or wait till he
Yeah,
wins again.
definitely.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
he keeps his
definitely. And
momentum going.
absolutely. Thank you. It's great. It's a great show that you're doing.
Good luck to
Thank
you
you.
guys
Thank
for
you.
the rest of the
Cool.
season.
Yeah.
Cool.
we'll
Thank
be
you.
watching.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care.
So yeah, that's cool. A lot of good things happening down there. Obviously, the series, like I said, it's been growing. It's been fun to watch. Different families and different people being involved. Um, just gonna be a long season for them. We'll see who wins the championship and try to keep them coming on the podcast each time. I don't know why our chat's not working, guys. I've been trying to fix it over here. I can't figure it out, but
Yeah.
it keeps Kyle quiet. That's a good thing. Vibes, that is.
He's got
It's going to be our
internet
first
now.
episode without 300 comments.
Oh,
Just
you're-
a heads
already-
up for you, Brandon. Hydro Thunder schedules at the dead top of their page, actually.
Oh, like their cover
the-
photo?
It's in the bio. So yeah, you didn't have to scroll at all, actually.
Yeah, sometimes you get to looking at the screen, you don't know what you're looking at.
Hey, you guys see all the pretty pictures?
I was trying to find that OnlyFans Bobby was talking about earlier.
Oh, no.
oh man.
But I think if we gotta repeat this. I don't know if y'all caught it. Bobby's too slow. I think we caught the news coming out of Jack, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll let them post it here in a couple
let it be
hours or
official.
whatever when it's official.
Yeah.
Bob's over there like, damn, I missed it.
He's gonna rewatch it right away.
Oh, yeah, he is. Bobby's got a
So-
pry though.
Well, you got anything else on your list, Bob? Bobby was the moderator of this episode.
It's a dangerous question, Brandon.
Well, oh, all right. Let's talk about some race sites. People want to keep trying to put on more races and more races. Not talking about HRL.
Talking on the same date races.
Not talking about the same date. I'm just that too. That too. We got to stop that. Um, I'm talking about there's clubs out there want to put on this race or that race. What they need to focus on is building the races that are in their club already. Build them bigger and better. Like an APBA, if you look like on the East Coast, Midwest, between that and HRL, you can go run what 15, 20 weekends. I mean, something like that.
We do like
Yeah.
17 this year.
17. I mean, it's cool if we
Or
can
I
get
guess
more
not
race
without
sites.
Lakeland, it was probably 16.
It's cool that if we can get more race sites, but we got to focus on building the race sites better, getting more fans to them, getting more participants involved, more people involved to try to get into boat racing. That and build your pit parties better. Come on, man, step it up. Like, we want the after party,
That's
you
it.
know.
We did have we were talking about this the other day. Like HRL, we talking about maybe having a pit party. The HRL Cambridge has been brought up by their club. Like, would it be good in HRL, or does everyone kind of just do their separate thing at this point? Could we bring everyone back? Because I know like Tonawanda tries it with the Buffalo Wings and beers after the race, and I don't feel like they get the turnout. Like, say the Ken Island, Rocky Fork, all those like really good fun pit parties you go to. Could HRL get it turned around? And if you did want it in HRL, not HRL themselves, but could you get everyone there? What would it take for those teams to leave their private little things?
All right,
and come over
here's the problem. You have the pits in the middle. You have the campers over here. And then way down yonder at a pavilion, you want to have the pit party. You got to bring the pit party to where the campers are. Set up a tent in the middle of where all the campers are. Hire a DJ. Grab a couple kegs. Bring some type of food. What Tonawanda has, pizza and buffalo wings.
Buffalo wing.
Perfect. That's all you need. But you can't have the campers down here and then the pit party way down here. It's just not going to work. Why Ken Island worked with their party? Well, it was a peninsula, so the party was there. Cambridge, the pavilion is around all the campers. All the campers are around. Pretty much wherever you want the party, you have to put it to where people are staying. Now, I know some people stay in hotels. You can't adjust to that. But when you have 200 people staying in campers, put a tent there. I mean, what's it cost for someone to put in one of those little circus tents or a wedding tent? I mean,
Right.
It's not that much money. That's how you get the party.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I'll be HRL's party planner. It's all right.
I mean,
Maybe HRL Cambridge is the perfect one to
That's-
set it up at. I mean, give it that trial run where it's right by the campers. It's known to work, and
HRL needs
Can run with
to
it.
buy blue crabs for the pit party then.
Can't. It's in May.
What?
Can't.
dude,
You ain't gonna get them local.
You
Then
need
it
to move the
becomes
race
expensive.
date now so you can have blue crabs at the pit party.
Yeah, I mean, definitely could work. Good music, free beer. That's all you need.
Yeah, but you have to have it to where people are staying. You can't
Yeah.
have it 800 feet away. It's just not going to work. I mean, just give me a call. I'll tell you how to do it.
Tonawanda
No
used to
problem.
have a good pit party too, didn't they?
They did when it
when
was
it was-
me, Brandon, Kent, Henderson,
Yo, when you
They're
bring
all
out
around.
Flip Cup, I mean, anywhere's gonna have a good party.
Dougie, Steve Armstrong, Johnny Douche. When you're
Guess
standing
that's what your
around
definition
tables
of a good party.
doing flip cups. Yeah. Speaking
Did
of
that
Johnny,
breathalyzer hurt all that?
Definitely didn't help.
All right, if you want to go to a good pit party, go to APBA.
I just realized we're also live on TKO's Facebook.
Yeah, I cross posted. I was
Here's
trying
another
something
thing.
here.
Here's another thing. I'm
We
just
got-
I'm just tossing this out there. Don't wake us up and have to do a breathalyzer at 7:30 in the morning. We don't race until like 10 or 11. Do a breathalyzer at like 10 o'clock. Just
I'd
call
rather
all the
go
drivers.
physical. I think we should do like a physical, like a mile run or something.
Man, Jack Lupton.
That
would
was
like it.
that was
What
one
exactly-
comment.
what
One
would be the
question
passing
Jack
time?
had. Jack told me to ask David, but obviously he couldn't get on that. Like, has he ever failed a breathalyzer? And the answer is yes. Like, he went to Australia once to race and failed the breathalyzer. So he was
Oh.
just running around the pit area trying to sweat it out.
Oh,
But
God.
that's another thing. HRL
See,
needs
HRL
to
doesn't
move
even
their,
give you a chance to do that.
No,
they need to move the breathalyzer back like 9-10 o'clock. Like just quick breathalyzer, come up and do it. Have 2 or 3 people standing there, boom, it's done. 7 o'clock is ridiculous. First off, when I don't work on the boat, I don't even want to get out of bed at 7:30. Like, let me sleep. Like, let me
Yeah.
sleep. I'm trying to rest to go race, and you're trying to give me a breathalyzer at 7:30 in the morning. This is ridiculous.
gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, especially when I'm staying at a hotel room and I have to wake the wife up to get her in the truck, then get the kids in the truck. That means I'm not happy. The wife's extremely not happy. And those kids are cranky when you have to wake them up to get them in the truck to go to the pits just so Dada can do a breathalyzer to race in about 4 or 5 hours. Come on.
No doubt.
Get it together.
That's it. So I think that wraps it up, man. I'll tell you what, guys, we have a great guest coming on next week. As long as they join us, well, I think this one will be a little bit more prepared. The one and only Steve and David. Going to be a great episode talking about all the things Miss Madison Racing Unlimited. Obviously, he's got a ton of knowledge. He was going to come on tonight, but he was emceeing an event that was a little more important than chasing tails. So we'll have him on next week. And if you guys have anything to ask him, obviously he's a legend of the sport, drop us a message, comment, any of that stuff, and we'll be sure to put it in the rotation because we're going to have a lot of questions to ask him for sure. Bobby, you got anything else on that little list of yours?
No, I don't have anything else on the list. All my rants are done for the night. Just fire them up for next week, next Tuesday. I'll keep it tame since Steve David will be on, but
Lies.
after he gets off, I'll have a rant about something. I'm sure I'll find out some news that I don't like. But it's all right. But I am really excited about Dan Canfouche running a 2.5 stock with the different ECU to try to test it out for the 1.5 stock class. That's pretty cool because we got to make you got to make these things more affordable. I mean, these Toyotas, they're just outdated. We got to get those Toyotas out of there.
That's it. End of the day, you just heard it from Denise that like affordability brought their class back. That's down in New Zealand. Grand Prix up here went better when it got more affordable. So keeping things in check seems to grow our sport. Proof's in the pudding. Kyle Austin, you got anything to add?
I think that's it.
No,
I'm
just pumped to see the rest of the New Zealand season. I mean, it's cool having a race and actually watch during the off season. Sim's fun, but like, it's cool watching real racing.
For sure.
Plus, kicking Bob's ass on the sim gets boring.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have a Chase and Tails Hydro Sim night where I don't know how we can screen share, do it up here. We get in there and we do, since there's 4 of us, we get 4 shots at racing. All right, are we gonna do fighting for lanes? That gets a little carried away because
there's no sense of fear.
Yeah.
I think
when you do fighting for lanes on Hydro Sim, it's like Brandon driving skip.
We should do for this though. We should do reverse breathalyzer. The minimum.
Oh, see who can hit the high score.
Like
yeah, but you just got to hit the minimum at least.
The minimum.
Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think in like all of the boat racing time? At least the time you guys have been alive has blown the highest number. Was it last year?
I don't know. There's Johnny Douche set the bar pretty high, and then he's
Johnny
like, "Hey,
Douche.
Johnny Douche is like, Steve, I can't drive." Steve goes do the breathalyzer. He fails too.
Best duo in history.
Yes, 100% iconic. That if we had Montwork working back when they were around, oh my god, this sport would be blown up by now.
Yeah.
We'd
Like
be
the content
made and
them boys
paid.
could produce.
We'd be made and paid. No one.
But yeah,
no
we'll
one,
get that going.
Did we have any comments in the chat though?
We didn't have many because something's wrong with our comments. Some people can comment, some people can't.
Jamie
we'll
was
leave-
saying you were getting mad about 350s. Connor said you like to drive on top of people when fighting for lanes on sim. The usual,
in
just
real-
roasting
And
you.
in real life.
What's different?
Yeah, it's true.
No one commented about my chair cover. It's all right. Well, I'll just leave
Yeah.
it there for next week.
We do have the picture of you like 20 feet above one of the Martins in Wilson's old boat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
that wasn't
that's a good
fighting
one.
for lanes. That was fighting for the win.
Yeah, so we'll try to get that chat thing figured out so you guys can actually comment next week.
And
don't know what's
everyone in the
going on
chat,
with
if you want to see the four of us race Hydro Sim on one episode and battle it out on the GP's deck to deck, leave us a comment and let us know you want us to do it. I think it'd be pretty cool. And,
Bike's
Bro,
Set
I
up a
drove
gambling
that
ring
stuff
for
the
that.
other day though in a Valleyfield and I couldn't get around that course.
I haven't been on in like a
I
year,
think-
so
I think they made it now to where you got to lift, and I'm like, I don't lift, bro.
No, I have my throttle inverted so I don't have to push the pedal. It's just,
But now
suck.
it's like you go into the turn and it's like, whoa, it's like, what the?
Yeah.
This ain't right. I don't
Yeah.
know. It might be my setup. I
Oh
don't know,
no,
maybe.
no, it's the wing. You have to have the wing in a certain position to. Yeah, it's touchy. It's touchy.
That's fine. We'll get it figured out so I can whoop y'all's butt.
well,
all
we'll
there is to it.
probably go like F1 did.
Yeah, that didn't work. I was
No.
like in the back.
It's all right. If
I was
Hey,
back there with you.
Hey.
but
Brandon didn't have any ERS or DRS.
if we're
No, I had
running-
no clue what the buttons are. Y'all are all like, "Hey, I'm hitting my ERS here, DRS." Here. I'm like, "What? What are you talking
think
about?"
you think you're slick, but if we're running at a mile and two, we're running San Diego. I'm just going to get in the bad influence because it's a mile and 3/3.
It's got the speed there, bud. Got the speed.
Got the speed there because if you go there, Brandon, you're going to flip.
Hey.
Definitely.
you'll only win if you're wearing the Grandel shirt, though.
Yes, you have to wear the shirt.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Not
the
that one.
Granddad, the beach
The
one.
world record one, yeah.
Oh, that one. I thought you were talking about the beach one.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
beach
well,
If you
one.
wear the beach one.
When he's wearing the cheetah shirt or the
The cheetah suit. Yeah, you gotta wear a cheetah suit for sure.
Oh man. All right. This episode's
Yeah, I think-
over.
Is it though? Sure? You sure you're done? You
You're
sure
gonna
about
hit us
that?
with that. I think
You
you
tried
hit us
twice
with that
already.
outro then, Bob.
Well, guys, this is Chasing Tails. We tried to be as professional as possible on this podcast. We don't start rumors. We keep rumors going. We gave you news and rumors, and we never let the truth get in the way of a good story. So thank you for tuning in. This is Bobby signing off. You guys have a great night.
We'll see y'all.
See ya.